My name's John Feal. I was a supervisor in a demolition company. I get there on the 12th. What time it was, I don't remember. I really don't. There are certain things you block out, I don't know. But I could tell you at 5:35 on September 17th, 8,000 pounds of steel crushed my foot. I was backing in trucks. We were loading about 250 trucks a day. So we were moving as quickly and swiftly and as we could. The machines would pull the steel out of the pile. We'd place the steel on the ground, and then we'd torch it. As the truck was backing in, I saw in the corner of my eye the steel tipping over. I tried to jump out of the way because I was going to get hit by the truck and the steel, and the steel landed on my foot. I don't think if I didn't move, it would have landed somewhere in the middle of my back, maybe paralyzed me, maybe killed me. No one knows how I got my foot out from underneath the steel. I don't. I didn't wear a mask once. No one ever said, John, hey, let's put on a mask. It will help. Pulverized cement, powdered glass, because, every floor, hundreds and thousands of fluorescent bulbs, the computers with the mercury, the lead, the asbestos. We swallowed a toxic cocktail, and the government gave us a shooter of lies. Christy Todd Whitman lied to the American people and to the men and women on that pile and said the air was safe to go back to work because of economics, because they wanted to open Wall Street. So because of economics and bad politics, men and women who risked their lives without asking questions, without prejudice, are now getting sicker and dying. And that's where I started to fight 2.5 years ago and advocate and lobby and voice awareness and just spread the goodwill that these people need help. And I'll continue to do so because I'm not going to live to 80. None of us are. We were given a death sentence. We just don't know when we're going to die. The resolve and the testament of these people that risked their lives that day and the following months to clean that pile as fast and professional as they could is my strength and my therapy to keep doing what I'm doing. But when hundreds and even thousands are getting sick, I don't call that a coincidence. I call that an epidemic. And I call that a problem that the government needs to take care of now before it gets even worse, because you're looking at another generation of baby boomers, kids in lower Manhattan, being born with 4 fingers or respiratory problems. It's going to go on and on and on for the next, 20, 30, 40 years. I don't know if God gave me a gift or a curse to feel their pain, but I feel their pain. I haven't slept in 4.5 years. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing so I know that these people don't have to suffer the way I did.
My name is John McNamara. I'm a fireman with the FDNY, Engine Company 234. On 9/11, we responded to the World Trade Center, and I was there for 2.5 months after that, digging and recovering victims, breathing in all the toxic air, and they said it was safe to breathe, and as you could tell, it wasn't safe to breathe because I'm in the hospital again now. It's my 7th time. We've been trying to get this bill passed for years now. It covers people that work at the Trade Center that don't have the same benefits that I have, that are suffering and losing their homes and their credits going down the tubes. They're in hock for thousands and thousands of dollars. And these are people that stepped up to the plate on 9/11 and afterwards, and they're being treated like the terrorists that we have in custody are getting treated better than the people that helped us on 9/11 are, which is horrible. We need to get this bill passed and get this health care to these people.
I spent some time down Ground Zero, in and around Ground Zero back in 91. And shortly afterwards, it started to affect my lungs. I had some problems breathing, but I was examined and given antibiotics to try to help it. It didn't really do that much. I just continued to work. I was the type of guy that would never call in sick to work. I wouldn't let things get me down unless it really got me down. And I followed it up over the years to find out that I had fibrosis of my right lung. And then late last year, it got to the point where I was just constantly tired. I had to stop my car and go to sleep before I came home from work. And thank God for Teresa, because I was so stubborn for years I wouldn't go to any kind of specialist or doctor. And Teresa got me to go to her family doctor. And they knew right away I had pulmonary fibrosis, and they knew right away that I had leukemia. I went through three rounds, about 14 weeks of chemo, and then a stem cell transplant. And I went into remission about 3 weeks ago, which I don't understand this disease at all. I went through remission 3 weeks ago, only to find out last week that the cancer was back and working faster than it ever had worked. I mean, it beat me up in a matter of 2 days. I could feel myself just, it's like, I feel like you're burning up inside. I'm not angry at any particular thing. Well, you know what I'm angry at? I'm Osama bin Laden. He's the one that took down those buildings that did this to everybody, but I'm a little angry that the government isn't coming through.
I hit it for Grand Slam.
Get out of here. Did you?
Yep.
For real?
Tell them what happened.
Finally. Yeah, finally. Congratulations.
What'd you
Waiting
do
for
it
that.
for?
I've been waiting
I did
for
it
that.
you.
I love you.
Yes.
That's his
Festival?
wall.
There's
That is so
where I
cool.
hit it.
Oh, if you can see it smashed.
He had everybody in the stands crying because they knew what was going on in our household and in our life.
Let's go. Get on the bus. We're ready. He's on the other bus.
Okay, next stop Jersey, then FCEL. I met John in 2001, the beginning of 2002.
No offense to anybody that got out.
Yep. Pick it up one lady. CEL from the...
Make him right.
You got everybody? Okay.
Tornado watcher. Yes.
You gonna go around the bend here? Okay.
Let's go, people! On the lawn. Going in there.
Let's go. Move it up.
We're going this way. Charlie, direct them this way.
Got it.
And we know that the men and women who made a decision to rush into flames that day, as everyone else was rushing out, they deserve the dignity and respect and the awards which they've been given, but they also deserve the health care which they need. And I will tell you that on 9/11, thousands of Americans, innocent Americans, lost their lives. But thousands more lost their health. And that is what this bill is about, giving them the health care they deserve. And it is a tragedy what happened to the victims on 9/11. But we have living victims of 9/11 with us here today, and we must not turn our backs on them. We will not turn our backs on them, and we will continue working, speaking out, organizing until this bill is passed, and it is going to pass this year. We have to make it pass this year.
The September 11th is the most infamous day in our history. It's also the day of true national greatness, where because of people like you, we showed the world just how brave and dedicated we are. But now, as time goes by, too many people want to forget what happened. They want to forget the brave men and women who went in there that day and stay there for months afterwards. I want to assure you that I will work as hard as I can. I have no choice because Carol Maloney would come after me if I didn't. But we all have to stand as one. We have to stand united. And again, it's very easy for Carolyn and me to just walk across from our offices to be here with you today. But you got on the bus, you came here. Many of you not in the best of health, but you still did it. So thank you for your courage, which you showed then. Thank you for the courage you showed since. Thank you for the courage you continue to show. And we hope in a very small way to be able to repay you and pass 847 as quickly as we possibly can. Thank you all. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you very much.
But let me be clear. Every day that you still must wait to get the health coverage you need is unforgivable. Every day that you have to wait for the financial restitution you deserve is unconscionable. That's why passing the 9/11 Health and Compensation Act is so crucial. With this important legislation, we will ensure, finally, that those exposed to World Trade Center toxins have a right guaranteed in law, to high-quality medical monitoring and treatment, and access to a reopened Victims' Compensation Fund for their losses. Yet each time we have presented our case for a comprehensive solution, we have been told, maybe next year, like the Brooklyn Dodgers. Friends, it's time to tell Congress next year has come, and the time for the 9/11 health bill to pass is now, not next year anymore. We can count on you, I'm sure. Can we count on you to make this fight? Yes. Can we call on you again to stand shoulder to shoulder with all of us and with each other to finally pass this bill? Yes. Together, we can finally pass the 9/11 healthcare bill. We can finally give the heroes and victims of 9/11 the peace of mind they deserve. We can finally end this shame upon our government and our people of ignoring the needs of those who responded. And it's about time we remove the shame from all of us. It's about time that Congress acted. I thank all of you for being here and for joining in this fight for so long. And hopefully, with your help, this fight will not go on much longer. We will finally succeed, and we'll be able to raise our heads and say, we did the right thing finally. Thank you very much.
If it were not for you, every single time coming here to Washington and putting a face to this problem, we would have forgotten it. Not those of us from New York, but the country would have forgotten it. So I want to thank you for continuing to come here. You are practicing government and politics out of a sense of obligation to your family members, but you're also paying tribute to all of those who can't be here today because physically their bodies are ravaged by the acts of heroism that they showed on September 11th. And we must never forget on a day like today to keep in our minds how many people are sitting at home today with members of their families that have been lost because they showed the heroism. We want to make sure there aren't any more families that feel that sense of loss. And we should also remember the 160,000 American men and women that fight for us today in Iraq and Afghanistan. May God bless you and the memories of all of those that were lost on September 11th, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all of you, and thank you all so much for coming down to the nation's capital to dramatize just how important it is that we pass this legislation, and also to dramatize the incredible sacrifices, and for that matter, the incredible suffering that so many have gone through as a result of those attacks on September 11th, and also as a result of the heroism that so many of you showed and so many of your colleagues showed in responding without any concern for your own well-being, simply the concern of fellow citizens. And we as a nation have an obligation to stand behind everyone who responded, everyone who was suffering as a result of their selflessness. And as Dennis Kucinich just said, we have got to get this bill passed. and we've got to get it passed as quickly as possible. Your presence here today helps move that process along, so please keep coming. We will get this done.
September 11th will always live in the consciousness of all Americans. On that day when thousands perished, thousands also came to rescue and walked up those stairs when there was very little hope. We as a nation saw greater acts of heroism on that day than we could have ever imagined. First responders from all over New York and all over the country came to Ground Zero to risk their own lives for the people they did not know. We all understand the immediate damage that was done on September 11th, but no one could have understood the lasting harm that would be done to the health and well-being of thousands of first responders and innocent women, children, and families who live in New York. Since that day, nearly 8 years ago, tens of thousands of them have fallen ill due to the harmful toxins that were emitted from Ground Zero. There are New York firefighters, EMTs, police, construction workers, cleanup workers, innocent men, women, and children who lived and worked in the area. They now face life-threatening ailments, and we have an undeniable moral obligation to provide them with the help and treatment that they deserve. From some people like James Zadroga, it's too late. They've already lost their lives because of the health conditions since 9/11. After working nearly 500 hours at Ground Zero cleanup site with virtually no protection, James developed the World Trade Center cough. By January of 2006, he died of black lung disease. We lost thousands of heroes on 9/11, and we're still losing heroes like James today. But for tens of thousands other, now is the time to act. We can never forget the heroic acts of the first responders from here and around the country who risked all on 9/11. It is our undeniable moral obligation to pass this legislation into law. Thank you.
We remember those who helped us. We don't say, oh, thanks, bye-bye. We remember them. And we say your efforts have not been in vain. And the reason, one of the reasons that millions of Americans still volunteer for the armed forces is we've said to those in previous days, if God forbid you're injured and need help, we're going to help you. And we have a whole government agency, the Veterans Administration, to do that. But this is a unique situation, but no different than what happened in wartime. Because we were at war, and in a sense, very real sense, still are, even here, as well as overseas. And how can we leave such a hole in the greatness of America and the history of our nation of aiding those who risked their lives for us and didn't ask questions and say, never mind, or we forget about you, we don't care about you. So that's why you're here today. And that's why I came here, not only to show my respect, which is big, large, but also to pledge my support. I have a little clout here in the Senate these days. I've been here long enough. And I'm going to use it for you. We have a bill now. For the first time we have a bill, and you've heard from Senators Lautenberg and Gillibrand and Menendez. I know they were here earlier. And we're the four leaders from New York and New Jersey. There's, of course, a bill in the House which has made progress before. And we're not going to rest till this bill is on the President's desk and you can come down to Washington not saying do something, which you deserve, but saying thank you. And I will not rest till that happens. Thank you, and God bless you all, and thank you for being here. Oh, thank you, John. Great job.
Oh, Kenny too.
And Kenny, all you guys are amazing. You do the job for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming out. But go back to those buildings with a mission and tell other members of Congress and the Senate to join you like you joined us. Because if you don't do that, then today's a waste. We need your leadership more than ever. 9/11 responders are getting sicker and dying at a faster rate. And we need your leadership. And that goes for the union leaders. God bless you all for being here today. But together, as a team, as united,
We will find the solutions and the problem solving, and we will get HR 847 and S1334 passed. Thank you, and God bless you all.
This is George Radonovich. He's a Republican. He's from California. He said no.
He said no.
To HR 847. He's most likely a no. He's a congressman, currently serves on the Energy and Commerce Committee. He's a ranking member of subcommittee on Commerce for Trade, Consumer Protection. He also sits on the subcommittee of Communications Technology and Internet, as well as a subcommittee on Oversight and Investigation.
Is there a reason why he said no?
He's Georgia. He probably doesn't think he has anybody from Georgia there.
He does.
So, you know, this is the game. This is what we got to do. So that's who he is. And he did a really great job. I want to continue. Oh, he did. Let's go.
So he's a definite no.
Well, he's not a definite no, but once he sees all you guys, we can change the world. We got a good team. We can do it. We can do it.
And Marie, so how did it go meeting with the representatives?
I think it went pretty good. It went very well.
Anything special happened?
Yeah, we had an actual meeting with Ralph Hall, and it was a very moving time for all of us. We all left there in tears, including him. It was really good.
How do you think this event, this rally, and visiting congressional offices compares to past rallies and visits?
This was 90% better. Absolutely. We have so many yeses now. The teams were phenomenal. They're sending me back their reports, and it's just phenomenal. It's great.
So you're confident the bill will pass, and is there more work to be done?
There's more work to be done. Unfortunately, there's more work to be done. Can I hope it's passed? With all my heart and soul. With all my heart and soul.
Well, at this point, we still need people to keep on calling the congressmen. We need to find out who's still a nay, and anybody that's a nay, we need to bombard them. We need to put a list out there to all the firefighters, to all our supporters, and we need to bombard their offices with phone calls and get them to vote yay. And explain to them, you know, when our country needed us, we were there. We gave our hearts and our souls. You know, all we want is a little dignity and respect and the compensation that we've been denied. That's all we can ask for. That's all we want. We don't want a penny more. We just want to be compensated, and we want to be able to leave money for our families the same way if we would have kept on working, that our families would live. We want to make sure our families keep on living a decent life when we're gone.
I'm going to address this as a success. I'm going to judge today by 9/11 responders who are most of the time depressed and have a frown on their face. These people have pep in their step. They have renowned energy. They have a new purpose, and to me, that's a success all by itself. We've gained over a dozen new co-sponsors. We've had important meetings with the Speaker Pelosi's office. What I like to think was positive. We had a meeting with Senator Gillibrand's office, which was very positive. And I have one more meeting when everybody gets on the bus, and I'm going to have to go home on the train. But I'm going to meet with HHS by order of the White House, and we're going to keep our message the same as the rally and the press conferences, that we want our bill moved. We want it on the floor. We want it to be voted on. We have enough votes to win. That's the bottom line. Move the bill. Yeah. Speaker Pelosi, HHS, Barack Obama, move my bill. Move our bill. We waited 8 years. This young boy right here, who's my buddy, his father's sick, and his father deserves this bill to be passed. That's it. We're not going to quit. We're going to keep fighting. And everybody that came out here today, God bless them all. I can't thank everybody enough. I can't thank everybody enough.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Overwhelmingly, the people of this country want their September 11th responders protected. We want to be protected. because we want to know that if it happens again, that we know the United States government is behind us. As it stands right now, we're on our own. And if it happens again, what are we left to think about? Providing our own health care, selling our houses and our children's college future so that we can get what we need to survive because of an incident that was caused down here. I don't blame the federal government for the acts of September 11th. I don't blame the city or the state. I do blame them for not giving us the protection that was necessary, not days, but weeks and weeks and weeks later. We stood and toiled down here. We breathed in everything that was burnt down here. We took it in through our eyes, our nose, our ears. They fed us on lines down here. We walked away from the lines that we were digging at and they fed us. McDonald's, Burger King, we didn't only breathe it in, we ate it in, and now they tell us to take a walk. Well, like John and I said, we're here to say that we will walk. We're gonna take the walk they want us to take. April 1st. It's up to them now to decide what they want to do, the right thing or be embarrassed. Thank you.
I'm sick. I have scarring on my lungs. I have asthma now, which I never had before. I had cancerous polyps in my throat. But talking for the rest of the people, thousands of other people that can't be here today that are a lot sicker than I am. Cancers, all the other restrictive airway diseases, and other kinds of much worse illnesses that I have. I just want them to know that it takes my last dying breath. I will continue to fight along with John, Kenny, and Gary, the other foundations. If I have to walk also, if I can, God willing, I'm healthy enough to do it. On April 1st, I will go along with them, prove a point. But on my last dying breath, I will be here to make sure this bill gets passed. So as disappointed as they are today, don't be disappointed, I'm telling you now. Don't be, because we are going to get that bill passed. I can promise you that.
So with that, I would only say, Obama, please look inside your heart. Remember what you promised us. Look at your children and look at my child and push this bill forward. Enough is enough. Thank you.
Blackburn, no. Mr. Ingrid?
No.
Mr. Ingrid, no. Mr. Scalise?
No.
Mr. Scalise, no. Mr. Griffin?
No.
Mr. Griffin, no. Ms. Miller?
No.
Mr. Loud? No.
See you tomorrow.
Mr. No. Mr. Vote,
Any member wish to change his or her vote? Mr. Butterfield? Yes. We're on final passage. How do you vote? Yes.
Mr. Butterfield votes aye.
Any further changes in the vote? Not the clerk will tell you.